Alright, everybody out there in the Craft Chest Nation, it's I, Craft Chest, here with a video about warmth. And what this video is going to be all about is the zombie apocalypse, for the preparation, for being ready to stay warm, especially whenever it's cold like it is tonight, even in the South. You have to have a way to keep warm. And no, I'm just joking, of course. But at the same time, I'm being serious because there are people out there that have to live this way. Now, fortunately, I do have a heater that I have to heat my home, and I'm quite comfortable right now, especially wearing this hoodie, the Cookie Monster hoodie that you saw in the last video. But there's a lot of people out there that may need an idea to keep their one-bedroom home warm, or wherever they may be, a tent, a garage, a patio, or whatever it may be. And I want to stress, first and foremost, do not enclose yourself with this idea. Please keep common sense involved whenever you come up with ideas like this and share it with people. You have to have ventilation with any type of burn. Okay? Period, the end. Ventilation first. Okay? Then warmth. And what I'm talking about is taking a Coleman stove, which I've had this one right here for many a year, and it's just a one burner stove, as you can see here. And I actually lived off of this thing for about 6 months back during the dark times. And it's got a 1 pound bottle. It's got a base to it, which you make sure that this is very securely in that base right there. And this right here will put out warmth, but it's just like warmth out of the top. But you can make that warmth a little more effective by doing something like I did here with a metal coffee can. Alright, this is a Maxwell House coffee can. As silly as it may seem, you can cut a hole in the top, and it doesn't even have to be that large of a hole right here. Alright, and be very careful of the edges because they're sharp whenever you cut them. And I could make this very clean with a Dremel tool and cut very, sharp edges to the can, flip up the lids, make this look like you go to the store and buy it. But I wanted to do this for realistic purposes. And what I used to cut the holes on this one, the windows on this, was a gator knife. I've had this since the 90s, just like I had the burner since the 90s. It's been a long time. And there's this right here. As you can see, it's a blade with a serrated edge going on right there. Made in Portland, Oregon, as a matter of fact. U.S. made! Like that makes a difference. As long as it's a strong knife, I don't even give a shit. But here you go. What I did was I cut some windows opposing sides, which this right here, I could pull these out and they'll be like this. And these are pointing down. Now I got to thinking about this. If they're all pointing down and you have a couple that are finned out for the heat to escape here, all the way around would be better. Because I got to thinking, whenever you're letting the heat, fin out, because I was thinking, if I had a couple out like this, a couple of down like this, that would be effective. But I believe that if you pushed and forced the heat out to come up, it's going to be a little bit better because it's going to come out, down a little bit from this. It's going to deflect it, and then it's going to radiate up because heat rises. So here's what you got. Now let me show you the finished product, and I'm not going to light it. I tried to do a take with it lit. The can decided it didn't want to fit in the grooves at that point, and disaster happened, and the can actually fell off. But if the can is not warped, it will actually ride in the grooves right here, as you can see. Alright, you can ride it in that groove right there. You can ride it in that groove right there. And there you go. And it'll ride in those grooves, and then you can light it. And no matter if it's a low heat or a high heat, which I would, somewhere in the middle is good enough. This actually will put out about a 3-foot bubble. Because right here, arm's length, which I guess your arm is about 3 feet long, 2.5 to 3 feet. I could feel the heat up against my face when I had it lit earlier. There you go. Bottom line, heat. And there you go. I don't know what else to say. Just a quick idea of what you could do with a coffee can. Because I sit around, and believe it or not, as silly as this sounds, I think how I can repurpose items that I buy on a daily basis. And coffee is one of the things that I do buy because I love coffee. And, you know, Maxwell House still every now and again sends out these metal cans. And they're not only useful to hold your nails, to hold your screws, to hold your wing nuts or whatever else you may put in these, but they're also useful for things like heaters. And you could do the reverse on this and use the whole can for making an alcohol heater from this for just, you know, right here. But for a radiator type heater, it works quite nicely, as I said. And be careful, these edges will cut you. And I will show you right here. I barely brushed up against one of the corners on this, and it got me. All right, so be very careful, not only with the gas, not only with being enclosed, but with the sharp edges right there. But in a pinch, if you need a radiated heat, this right here will work quite nicely. And there you go. Preppers, zombie apocalypse. It's a craft of the mind. Go out there and have some fun. And hopefully, this video will help you stay warm. Woo!